Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am a full-time reseller on many platforms, and I like to do research to see what is worth a lot of money. And today we are going to do scarves. I haven't done a video on scarves in about a year, so I'm going to show you scarves that sell for $500 and more that you might find while out thrifting. I have personally know quite a few people who have found scarves worth hundreds. I don't think any have found worth thousands, but they are out there. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we are actually starting with a brand I am not familiar with, and this video is full of them. So what I decided to do in this video is not put more than 3 of any one brand in. And I will tell you, these top dollar ones are dominated by one brand. I will let you know when we get to it if you do not already know. So this first one is one I didn't know yet. This is a Low Studio Ghibli Howl's Moving Castle Heen scarf. This is a mohair. It was pre-owned, and this one sold for $525. I did want to show you here up close the Low and Ghibli Studios, and beautiful green mohair on this one. And here on the tag, you can see it does say Low SA. This one is from Madrid, Spain. And that was an amazing sale. Single scarf for $525. Up next is another brand I wasn't familiar with, and there were quite a few of these in the top dollar as well. And you'll have to let me know, some of these brands that I'm not familiar with, let me know if you are. So this next one is Etro. This is a new, it was $1,550, Etro Bombay embroidered wool dress, shawl, or scarf. It is 140 inches by 14. This one sold for $625. Here you can see that tag up close. It does say that is a jacquard. It says goods for the USA, so it was being imported. And here I wanted to show you, it does clearly say Etro there on the tag. This one is new with tags. You can kind of see that black and white Etro tag there on the right. So keep an eye out for that one. This scarf sold for $625. All right, another brand that I didn't know, and that is Goyard. This is a Goyard scarf stole bandana. This is not even a big scarf. This one is a bandana size. This one says 1 degree north, white herringbone silk, authentic, sold for $650. Here you can see it up close. It says Goyard Honore Paris in the middle there, and then I wanted to show you on the bottom also, it is signed there in the corner, so you would be able to look it up and identify it, and a great sale at $650. All right, this next one is one I think a lot of people would pass over if they saw it, and I do believe I have seen this brand before. This next one is Parrot Fabrics. This is a Parrot Fabrics hand-woven Santa Fe 1970s open wrap shawl or scarf with fringe. They did put rare. This one sold for $720. Here you can see the woven scarf laid out with the beautiful fringed end. And I did want to show you here on the corner, again, most of these do have the name. You can see it clearly says Parrot Fabrics hand woven in Santa Fe. And that was a great sale at $720. Up next is one of the brands I feel is probably faked quite a bit. So if you get any of these high dollar scarves, I would Google how to authenticate X brand, whatever brand you're trying to authenticate. I believe there are a few services out there that can help you as well. So this next one is a Louis Vuitton. This is a Louis Vuitton men's black and gray wool alpaca damier graphite map scarf. This one sold for $699. Here you can see it up close. Super cool with the Louis Vuitton balloon as well as the compass. And then here with it laid out, you can see it does say Louis Vuitton on the actual balloon. And I also wanted to zoom in on the compass here, which also has Louis Vuitton in it as well. So great, great sale at $699. All right, this next name I have seen, and it is also all over the high dollar scarves, and that is Loro Piana. This is a luxe, hard to find Loro Piana cashmere silk floral roses shawl wrap. It was 60 by 60. They did accept a best offer on $749. Here you can see it laid out. Beautiful cream white background with blue and yellow flowers. And I did want to show you up close here. The Loro Piana name is on the scarf. Again, look close because some of these aren't as obvious as others. And that was a great sale at almost $749. I also would like to point out to you that thus far, and for the majority of sales on this video, they are all buy it now. There, I think, might be one or two auctions, but over 90% are buy it now. So these, unlike a lot of other high dollar items I do that you see a lot of auctions, are almost all sold on buy it now. This next brand is one I am familiar with, another one that there are a lot of them in the top selling, and that is Burberry. This is a Burberry scarf beige. That's all they put in the title. Listen, if you have these amazing high dollar rare items, you can get away without making a fluffy title. So this one sold for $750. Here you can see the scarf laid out. This is another one that is still brand new with the tag. And I did want to zoom in on that tag. You can see it says Burberry, London, England. And it also says by appointment of the Queen. And that was a great sale at $750. Next is another brand that I was not familiar with. There were quite a few in this video. I was pretty surprised to come across so many that I didn't know. This next one is Eskandar. This is an Eskandar beautiful red crinkled linen scarf. This one sold for $785. Here you can see it up close. Beautiful, beautiful, almost like a thin papery linen, and a beautiful dark red. And I did want to zoom in on the tag here. You can clearly see it does say Eskandar. So another brand to add to your list. And this was a great sale at $785. Up next is another Loro Piana, and I put this one in here because it's plain black. So these scarves do not need to be all bright and colorful. The names really, really matter, and this one sold for over $800. This is a Loro Piana women's shawl, black, one size, heavy. It is a pure cashmere, guys. Cashmere is money. You can feel it, you can see it. Watch for cashmere. They also put throw blanket because this one could be multi-purpose. So this is a title a little more like those that I use. And this one sold for $849. I wanted to zoom in here. Not much to see. Again, plain black, but it does say Loro Piana and 100% cashmere, made in Italy, and a great sale at $849. All right, we have another Louis Vuitton. This is another one that is brand new. It is still in the box. Again, with these big name brands, watch out for fakes and make sure you have the real thing, but the real things are out there. This is a Supreme with Louis Vuitton monogram bandana. It is brown. This is another one. The pattern's not overly bright or impressive. They did take a best offer on $850. Here you can see it up close. It says Supreme throughout the bandana, as well as Louis Vuitton. And they did show it here. It was brand new in the box. And I did want to show you on the tag as well. This one is not a silk one. This one's actually 100% cotton. You can see that made in Italy, and a great sale at almost $850. All right, we have another name that I didn't know. So many names, so many names. This one is Pierre-Louis Massia. This is a Pierre-Louis Massia silk scarf, large, long. This is another new with tags. This one sold for $975. I did want to zoom in here and show you what these tags look like, because that's what you'll be looking for when you are out trying to find these. And I also wanted to show you this one as well. So on the edge of that scarf, it is also printed the Pierre-Louis Massia. So even if it didn't have the tag, definitely easy to identify. That was a great sale, $975, almost $1,000 for one scarf. All right, I feel like I'm lacking in the scarf department, and I thought I knew quite a few, but apparently I did not. So that goes to show you there's always more to learn when it comes to reselling and learning new brands to look out for. This next one sold for over $1,000, and it is a Chrome Hearts. This is a Chrome Hearts 100% silk logo scarf in black and white. They did put one size. They accepted a best offer on $1,040. Here you can see this scarf laid out, and in that bottom right corner, you can see that it does say Chrome Hearts. And I wanted to show you also here the tag attached. A lot of times these tags are cut out, so that's why I'm trying to show you both the printed version as well as the tag. So the tag clearly says Chrome Hearts as well. And that was a great sale at over $1,000. All right, my third and final Loro Piana in this video. I told you I'm not putting more than 3 of any one brand because I wanted to give you a good variety of brands to look out for. So this Loro Piana sold for over $1,000. This is a Loro Piana floral tapestry cashmere scarf, another new with tags. This one sold for a best offer on $1,200. Here you can see it laid out. So you can see on the scarf the Loro Piano as well as the tag that was still attached. And I did want to zoom in a little bit closer here to show you. This one clearly says made in Italy. It also has a tag saying it was made for the US market. And that was a great sale at almost $1,200. All right, we have another Escandar, and this one sold for over $1,200. This is a new Escandar long black silk 22 by 84 scarf, sold for $1,250. Here you can see that scarf on a mannequin, kind of a cool abstract, almost floral looking pattern. And again, zooming in on that Escandar tag, definitely one you want to keep an eye out for. Up next is another one that definitely is faked quite a bit, but I have found the real deal at estate sales, and that is Christian Dior. This is a Christian Dior cashmere scarf. It sold for $1,300. So what they are showing you here on the front, beautiful gold on black, and this is actually, I believe it's the box in that main picture, and I wanted to show you here on the inside, beautiful black, white, and gray Christian Dior scarf, and a great sale at $1,300. All right, we are up to our top 5 selling scarves. I will tell you 3 of them are all one brand. Have you already guessed the brand? If you sell scarves, I'm going to assume you know it. So we are going to move on to our top 5. The first one is the last of the Louis Vuittons. This is a Louis Vuitton with Yayoi Kusama. This is infinity dots. This is a pumpkin scarf. And I will tell you, there were a lot of pumpkin scarves, and this is one where the color matters. Certain colors are a little more in demand than others. They did accept a best offer on $1,299. Here you can see that pumpkin scarf up close. I really like the pattern on this. And again, there are ones with different color pumpkins. Keep an eye out for these. I feel the value is going to only increase the closer we get to Halloween. And that was a great sale at almost $1,300. All right, we are up to the name I keep alluding to but not telling you, and that is Hermes. And Hermes scarves probably comprise about 90% of the top selling scarves, but I didn't want to do a video only showing you Hermes, although there are hundreds of Hermes patterns, and the value can range from 50 bucks up to over 5,000. So just keep that in mind. You need to find the exact pattern that you are looking at in order to get a actual value of it. So these next three are actually all Hermes. And surprisingly, the number one that will be after those three is not an Hermes. So let me show you the first of the Hermes scarves. This first one is an ultra rare vintage Hermes 100% silk scarf, Cassandre Perspective Limited. This one sold for $1,499. Here you can see the scarf up close. I am not overly impressed with this pattern. I've seen some amazing Hermes. And then here I wanted to zoom in on the bottom printed on the scarf. It says AM Cassandre Hermes Paris. And I wanted to show you also the sewed in tag. But again, a lot of times when I find scarves, these tags are actually removed. This one says made in France, 100% silk, dry clean only, and a great sale at almost $1,500. All right, the next Hermes, I'm a little more impressed with the pattern, and this one sold for a little bit more money. This is a rare Hermes scarf, Central Park, green, blue, and pink. It was new in the box. This one sold for a best offer on $1,950. Here you can see it laid out. This is an absolutely gorgeous Hermes pattern scarf. And I wanted to zoom in again to that made in France 100% silk tag, as well as show you here. So this one, it's not overly noticeable unless you're really looking, where it says Hermes Paris there in the bottom corner. And that was a great sale at almost $2,000. All right, the third of the Hermes, no more than three. This one sold for over $2,000. This is a Hermes Comme des Garçons curry silk scarf. It sold for $2,294.86. Here you can see this one up close. Awesome geometric pattern on this one with the black, the white, and the gold. And I did want to again zoom in. You can see the Hermes Paris, and this one was a great sale, almost $2,300 for a single scarf. All right, the top selling scarf sold for over $2,000 as well, and it's a name that I did not know. This is a vintage Maison Martin Margiela artisanal. This is a wig scarf, guys. It's a wig scarf. It's a scarf made of wigs. And watch for stuff that's different is what this kind of makes me want to remind you. So this wig scarf sold for $2,498. Here you can see it up close. It's wigs. It's wigs. How crazy is this? And I did want to zoom in and show you the tag that says Maison Martin Margiela. And yeah, it's wigs, guys. It's wigs. It's an art scarf. Absolutely amazing. $2,498. All right, that is it. That is it. Watch for these names. Pay attention to the scarves. When I'm looking at scarves, a lot of times I can feel the quality. Learn what quality feels like. You'll also learn what it looks like so that you can pick them out a little bit easier. This video is coming to you a day late because my son turned 5 yesterday and I had to get ready for the party. So we delayed this video by a day. Do not forget, we will be live on Whatnot tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with some vintage jewelry. And tomorrow night is my weekly Tuesday night reseller podcast here on YouTube. I will be joined by my co-host Rod, as well as guests Mike from January House and Dan from Dan and Demand. It's always fun when we have those guys on. I look forward to seeing you over on Whatnot tonight, as well as on the podcast tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.